Today, we're diving into a fascinating field that's changing how we think about cities' urban psychology. You see, it's not just about concrete and steel, it's about people. It's about understanding how the urban environment impacts our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Today, urban psychology plays a huge role in city planning and design. Let's look at some ways this field is changing how we build and experience cities. We all know how good it feels to escape the city and immerse ourselves in nature, right? Well, urban psychology tells us that access to green spaces isn't just a luxury, it's essential for our mental health. Research shows that access to green spaces can reduce stress, depression, and anxiety. That's why cities are now integrating parks, rooftop gardens, and tree-lined streets to create a healthier environment. And get this, studies even show that living near greenery can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 16%. But it's not just about aesthetics. Urban greenery improves cognitive function and memory. Research in cities like London and Tokyo has shown that people who live near parks tend to perform better on mental tasks and experience less psychological distress. Some cities, like Singapore, have taken this concept further by introducing vertical gardens and green walls in densely packed urban areas, proving that nature can be woven into even the most built-up spaces. More interestingly, psychologists have found that the mere sight of nature, even through a window, can have calming effects on the brain. Hospitals with green views have reported faster patient recovery rates, and office workers exposed to natural settings tend to be more productive and creative. This shows that designing cities with mental well-being in mind is not just an option, it's a necessity. Ever notice how some cities just seem to buzz with life and connection? Well, urban psychology reveals that walkability plays a huge role in fostering social interaction and community bonding. Cities that prioritize pedestrian-friendly streets, wide sidewalks, and mixed-use spaces encourage more social interaction and community bonding. Studies have found that walkable neighborhoods lead to higher levels of happiness and stronger social ties. The numbers back it up. Cities with high walkability scores like Copenhagen and Amsterdam report significantly lower levels of loneliness compared to car-dependent cities. In highly walkable areas, people are more likely to greet their neighbors, engage in local events, and feel a sense of belonging. This connection to community is a powerful factor in overall life satisfaction and emotional resilience. Not only that, but walkable cities also boost economic activity. Studies show that pedestrians are more likely to stop at local businesses than drivers, and areas with high foot traffic see increased retail sales by up to 30%. That's why cities like Melbourne and Bogota have invested in pedestrian-friendly initiatives, because fostering human connection isn't just good for mental health, it's good for the economy too. Chapter 3. The impact of noise and light. Think about the last time you were stuck in traffic. Horns blaring, sirens wailing. Now imagine experiencing that kind of sensory overload every single day. High noise pollution from traffic, construction, and overcrowding has been linked to higher stress levels and sleep disturbances. Urban planners are now using noise-reducing materials, soundproofing, and zoning regulations to create more peaceful environments. Similarly, excessive artificial lighting can disrupt sleep cycles, so cities are adopting smart lighting systems that adjust based on human circadian rhythms. Studies have shown that constant exposure to noise levels above 70 decibels, roughly the sound of a busy street, can increase the risk of heart disease and hypertension. Cities like Barcelona and Paris have introduced low-noise zones, restricting certain traffic flows to improve public health and well-being. Light pollution is another major issue. Excessive artificial light at night suppresses melatonin production, which can lead to insomnia, fatigue, and even long-term cognitive decline. This is why urban planners in cities like Los Angeles and Berlin are testing adaptive LED streetlights, which dim when no pedestrians are present, reducing both energy use and sleep disruption for nearby residents. In extreme cases, noise and light pollution contribute to psychological distress and cognitive overload. People living in heavily urbanized, high-noise environments report higher levels of irritability, anxiety, and even aggression compared to those in quieter, more natural settings. Addressing these issues isn't just about comfort, it's about creating cities where people can thrive. Chapter 4, Inclusive Urban Design. Now let's talk about inclusivity. A truly great city is one that works for everyone, not just the majority. Not everyone experiences the city in the same way. Children, the elderly, and people with disabilities face unique challenges. Urban psychology helps ensure cities are designed to be inclusive, with accessible transportation, barrier-free sidewalks, and sensory-friendly public spaces. For example, studies show that people with visual impairments or mobility challenges often struggle in cities that prioritize cars over pedestrians. Cities like Stockholm and Curitiba have reimagined their urban spaces by adding tactile paving, step-free access to public transport, and universally designed public spaces, making navigation easier for everyone. Another key aspect is the impact of urban design on children's development. Research suggests that kids who grow up in car-dominated, high-traffic cities have fewer opportunities for outdoor play and social interaction, which can negatively affect their cognitive and social skills. That's why cities like Vancouver and Vienna have started implementing child-friendly urban planning, incorporating play streets, safe school routes, and more public play spaces into their city layouts. Beyond mobility, inclusivity also means considering neurodivergent individuals. People with autism or sensory processing disorders may find chaotic urban environments overwhelming. That's why some cities are experimenting with quiet zones, sensory-friendly transport systems, and decluttered public spaces to accommodate a wider range of cognitive needs. The future of urban psychology. As cities continue to grow, the role of urban psychology will only become more important. Understanding how our surroundings impact our mental and emotional well-being can help create happier, healthier, and more connected urban environments. So next time you're in a city, ask yourself, how does this place make me feel? Because whether you realize it or not, urban psychology is shaping your experience every step of the way. Would you like to see more videos about how cities impact our daily lives? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more urban insights.